You're asking too much of me.
Hey, I don't know what you want me to do, so I'm just not doing anything.
Yeah,
all
I'm
right.
gonna sit on my hands. You make up your damn mind.
Greetings and salutations. I'm Gil.
And I'm Gil, and this is Strategic Prepper.
All right. Hey guys, I'm with Chris Weatherman. Some of you guys know him as Angery American, author of the Going Home series. I remember when your book was a post on a
Online.
forum.
Yep.
I remember being late up at night reading, scrolling through and reading them.
That was a lot of fun to write that way too, because I got, you got instant feedback.
Yeah.
So it wasn't like you as an author, you're going to sit and write this long book and you're going to put it out and see what people think. I didn't start that way. So I started out on that forum.
Yeah.
Immediate feedback, and that's really what propelled me to keep going. Was people liked it so much, and it was awesome. If you were there in those days, it was a lot of fun, wasn't it?
I think this was 08 time frame is when I discovered it. So I don't know if it was current or if they were old posts at that point.
They were old at that point. But no, you were right in the right time frame.
I remember seeing guys saying you should make a book, and I want to say I remember you saying something about kind of like, well, I'll look into it, whatever.
Yeah, I was like, I'm not an author. No one's going to pay money for this garbage.
And a few years later, I heard about it. I think I was stationed over at Camp Pendleton, and I think either I saw a YouTube video or I just saw it in the bookstore, and I texted my dad, "Holy crap, you gotta read it," and we got a hook. So it's been great to meet you. I met you last time.
Yeah, we were here last year. Yep.
So for those of you guys don't know, we're in Palatka, Florida, RCPT USA, doing static line parachuting.
Yep.
So this go around, we're jumping out of a C-47, a real World War II bird, D-Day, Market Garden,
and one more. I can't remember.
Berlin Airlift.
Yeah, Berlin Airlift. That was the 3. Yep.
So I just got a couple questions.
Sure.
Pretty easy questions. Pretty easy. Well, just a few questions, really, what I'm going to say. So you know the name of the channel, name of the company, Strategic Prepper.
That's right, Strategic Prepper.
The preparedness community. You've been around it a lot. We've been around it for a while.
Yep.
What would you say is the biggest gap in the preparedness community?
What I would say is the hardest thing for people when they start thinking preparedness is building their tribe or their community.
Yeah.
It is the hardest thing to do.
Yeah.
It's also the most important thing to do, and it takes the longest. Because these are people that you're going to learn with and train with, and you're going to trust them. When you close your eyes at night, to have your back, and they're going to expect the same from you.
Yeah.
And people have a hard time figuring out how to meet like-minded people. Well, the way you do it is you come to things like this. You go to training classes, you take classes, you meet people that are they're putting their money where their mouth is. They're not just talking the talk; they're walking the walk. And so really, to me, that it's the building that tribe, building that community is the hardest thing for people to do.
Yeah, and the other thing too is people like us tend not to advertise it.
Exactly.
So you get a bunch of people together, no one's talking to each other.
But see, that's
tough,
the thing
when
you go to a specific training event, something like this, which this isn't a prepper event at all. But there's a lot of crossover here.
Oh yeah.
All these people, a lot of these guys here take tactical training. They do this stuff. Some of them are preppers as well. But you get out and you find like-minded people. Yeah. And even if they're not a prepper, let's say, but there's someone that you meet somewhere, you're doing something, and you become friends. You can introduce them to it. Yeah. But if it's someone you can trust, and they're a quality guy or quality woman, then you can add them to your team and just start folding them in. Yeah. But it takes time, and you got to put yourself out there, like you just said. We got to stop keeping it to ourselves and let it out a little bit. So
there's definitely a little bit of you got to take a leap of faith a little bit.
Yeah, you do.
Take a risk.
Yep.
Calculate a risk.
Just be careful. OPSEC until you've felt them out.
Yeah.
But
Yeah. All right. So this one's kind of a two-part. Right now in the preparedness community, Ukraine is a big discussion.
Oh,
a lot of people freaking out about the Ukraine. So kind of what's your take on that? Is that something really? How worried should we be about that? And then the follow-up to that would be looking at Canada. Same question for Canada.
Yeah, the Ukraine thing, my worry is this. My worry is that Ukraine, which they're doing so far, is going to mount an effective resistance, an effective defense, and either stall Putin or just wear him down through attrition. Yeah. The global community has made Russia a pariah as a whole. Yeah. I disagree with that. Putin started this war, not the Russian people. I'm not mad at the Russian people. They, it's Putin that's doing this. Even some of his generals didn't want it to happen. Yeah. And by pushing him too far, I'm afraid that he might do something stupid. At the very, I don't think a nuclear exchange is kind of in the offing unless people got really dumb. If we tried to put a no-fly zone over Ukraine, I can see it happening. But if Ukraine does prevent him from achieving his goals, I don't put it past him to use a low-yield tactical nuke. You know?
Yeah.
That's my biggest fear, personally.
Yeah, I've got kind of similar, you know, I tell people there's no reason for this to turn into a world war.
No, it doesn't need to be.
Unless our politicians act like idiots, which doesn't make me feel that good because
all politicians are idiots. Yeah. So yeah, it's rough.
Yeah.
And as far as the Canada thing goes, it's disturbing to me the level of freedom that Canadians are willing to give up, and the level of servitude they're willing to accept
very easily too.
Very easily, and they cheer for it. And it's happening here too. We see people cheering for this. You know, a couple summers ago, there were riots all over the country. Cities were on fire, entire cities.
Oh yeah.
Those are peaceful protests. But anybody who protests on this side, you're a violent extremist. You're an insurrectionist. You're a terrorist. When we have committed no violence at all. But anytime, you know, you've got the nut jobs out there, the racist assholes that commit crimes against, you know, minorities of whatever variety. And anytime that happens, it's hung on all of us on the right.
Oh, yeah,
we're all racist.
Yep.
When we take a minute and look at it, we see that actually the left is the ones who are racist. All you people out there say you're not racist and anti-fascist and all that. If you support Ukraine right now, and you're a progressive, and you support Ukraine at the moment, you have to know that you're supporting real Nazis.
Yeah.
Because the Azov Battalion is a far right, they call it right sector there, and they wear a Nazi emblem on their uniform.
Now, you're speaking outside of my knowledge.
Yeah.
I don't really know anything about that.
I follow all this stuff very closely. I've been tracking Ukraine since 2014, following it very closely. And seeing how Canada is slipping and why Justin Trudeau hasn't been recalled or something is mind-boggling. We're starting to see the pushback here in San Francisco. They just did a recall on 3 school board members because they were pushing the critical CRT, pushing all that stuff, and the parents there didn't want it.
Yep.
And the school was like, no, you're going to do it. And the parents were like, no, we're not. We're going to do a recall, and they voted them out.
Yeah.
So we're starting to see it now. We're just starting to crest that horizon of when things might start changing. But I have a feeling it's going to be a long and probably painful process.
And even Canada, you're starting to see some of the provinces are repealing stuff. But long term,
it's going to be hard. You know, with the COVID, all this COVID theater. Ron DeSantis is right. COVID theater. That's what it is.
Yeah.
Suddenly the politics. I mean, the science has changed, right? The science has changed. The science has never changed. The science has been the same the whole time. Mask mandates and all this stupidity when the masks do not work.
Yeah, and that's not new. That has been out for a while. It's
been
hidden, and now,
Well, here's the thing. Water filters, as preppers and survivalists and stuff, we want water filters, right? We want to make sure we have clean water. Our water filters have to filter down to 0.1 micron, right?
Yeah.
Why is that? That's the size of a virus. A virus is 0.1 micron. So a cloth mask can only filter about 35 to 50 microns. So how many, 0.1 to 35, 50.
That's the frustrating thing. So we, my dad and I, we do, part of what we do is occupational health and safety and risk management. Respiratory protection, there's a science behind respiratory protection.
Oh, absolutely.
It's part of our job to understand that. And that's been very frustrating, COVID. You got people listening to people who have no idea what we're talking about. And no, we actually understand the science behind this, but
it was all. It was as Ron DeSantis said. It was COVID theater. It was theater. What it was is it allowed the people at the top, the Biden administration in this case, right now, to be able to look out at the masses and see who's willing to do exactly what they're told.
Yeah.
Even if they know it's stupid, they'll still do it because they want to be a good little citizen. And that was the vast majority of people. It was the minority of us that are like, this is stupid, I'm not doing it. So it's scary.
Yeah, it is.
So,
and then last question here. Ray, so obviously you didn't start out trying to be an author, right?
No, I did not. Never imagined it.
So in that journey, what would be the hardest thing you'd say being an author?
Putting out enough books. Really. Yeah. It's like, I know I haven't, it's been a few years since I published a book of this series. We had some rough times in the family and stuff, and then I had a devastating fire, and it kind of put me in a funk, and I wasn't really trying. But I'm back in it now, and I'm going to be getting my books out. People want to read it so much, and they've really connected with this series in particular. that I wish I could put more out for them, that they would have more to read. I really wish I could. But you know, it takes time. The hardest part really is to sit down at that keyboard and look at that screen and start typing. It really is the hardest thing to do. Because I got lucky. My journey to be an author was more like getting struck by lightning, or the Cinderella story. You know.
Yeah.
When I tell people how it happens in the publishing industry, when they hear it, they're just like, "You got to be kidding me." I'm like, "No, that's really how it happened." They're like, "Yeah, you got lucky," and I'm like, "I know."
Yeah, I couldn't believe it. I mean, heck, I even.
Oh, I'm a unicorn. Mel's telling me she's off camera every time I'm a unicorn.
Shoot, now that I remember it, now I'm thinking about it, I remember because your username was I remember seeing it on the cover of the book, and I made that connection.
Yeah.
And I don't remember if you wrote the title, but I remember making the connection. So I guess a little mini follow-up question. How do you decide, or I don't know if maybe you figured this out or not, when the series is going to end? Right, well, because people want more, but at some point you're thinking, well, I got to make the story end.
So my standard answer to that is always this: I will keep writing them as long as they want to read them, and I want to write them.
Yeah. When
it's not fun for either one of us anymore, I'll stop it.
Right.
Yeah. So, but it's still fun.
Yeah.
Still a lot of fun right now.
Hey, I appreciate you taking the time.
Thank you, brother.
Good seeing you.
Good to see you again too, man.
Yeah. Hey, stay safe, stay prepared.
Join the Round Canopy Parachute team too, guys.